appeal is rejected. Finally, the appeals chamber notes that the pretrial chamber reached its conclusions in relation to the risks enumerated in Article 50A(1)(b) of the statute on the basis of a comprehensive assessment of the information before it. In the present case, having rejected the 3 grounds of appeal presented by the defense in the appeal brief, the appeals chambers unanimously confirms the impugned decision. This brings us to the end of the summary of the appeals chamber's judgment. The judgment will be notified to the parties and participants after the hearing. Translations of the summary will also be available in due course. I would like to thank the court reporters, interpreters, and other registry staff for their valuable assistance today in holding this hearing. The hearing is adjourned.
All rise. We will.
All right, the International Criminal Court just adjourned the hearing on the appeal of former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte for interim release. That has been meted out by the pre-trial chamber. So this is an appeal that has been rejected. All 3 grounds, in fact, have been rejected. The ICC judge there pointing out several failures of the defense to prove or to substantiate its claims of lapses made by the pre-trial chamber when it decided to reject the interim release petition. Now, the investigations also, or the investigations and the findings of the appeals there also established that the president, the former president, could be a possible flight risk and that he still has influence and contacts to abscond. They also established that he has political influence in the Philippines and that the medical condition may be a ground for interim release, but even then the defense has failed to show the pre-trial chamber the requisites or the requirements to prove that in fact his medical condition warrants for his freedom. Both on the first ground of appeals that was rejected, the defense is said to have failed to substantiate the pre-trial chamber's conclusions that were reasonable. For the second ground, the appeal was rejected. This was the appeal made by Duterte camp to release him on humanitarian grounds, and that the defense team also failed to prove that to be reasonable. Now, a copy of the decision will be given to the parties soon after. So we just witnessed the reading of the ICC Appeals Chamber rejecting all 3 grounds of former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte's appeal for interim release. Now, we were in discussion with Attorney Cristina Conti and Attorney Nery Colmenares about some of the procedures there, that this can still be appealed or reviewed based on Rule 118 of the International Criminal Court there, that, the defense team can ask for another review. Again, this will depend if the circumstances would change. So there is review, and if ever there is an interim release, the guidelines must be strictly followed. We were talking to Attorney Colmenares, and he was saying that he does not trust the former president would, follow or obey the guidelines, and that the trials must proceed as scheduled. This is, of course, to appease the extrajudicial killing victims, their families that are still appealing for justice for more than 10 years now, or since Duterte came into power and introduced the extrajudicial killings, that the drug war